Up next, the Bears are on the road to face the Browns. Two teams that have played each other just 16 times since 1950. Chicago's looking for their fourth straight win against Cleveland, and it's coming your way next.
We are in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio, at First Energy Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, it's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Browns set to go on offense for the first time, led by Baker Mayfield in his 4th season now from Oklahoma.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And nice yardage right off the bat here as he's up to about the 24-yard line. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 19 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We got a top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
He'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
This one hauled in. Again, it's Hooper. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Touchdown, Browns! Rashard Higgins, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really haven't in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out the 11th overall pick of the 2021 draft, Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 22 carries, 129 yards, and he threw a touchdown in there for good measure.
Well, he's the #2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to #1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
He gets away from one, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Well, when you've got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free and off he goes.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Fields. Oh, Mooney, what a catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. Well, what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Denzel Ward, the #4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 21. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And 2021 in the draft, the first tight end off the board, Florida's Kyle Pitts at #4 to Atlanta. The first tight end taken in 2020 was this guy, Cole Kmet, #43 overall. Really started to come on late last season. A good grab there for a first down.
Come on now, let's make it.
On first down, Montgomery able to push his way through. 12 more yards there and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Here's Fields. Flushed out right. Open man, he finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago. Cole Kmet, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback charge. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Browns drive about to get started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing again on second down. Mayfield. And finding the tight end Hooper. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I don't know about you, but it almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a hunting down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Mayfield now. Over the middle, complete. That's Higgins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. To Montgomery to begin the drive. Good strength, gets him a little extra and gets them some breathing room as he's tackled shy of the 10. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep, and on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. But Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now Landry. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
And now we'll hook up downfield on 2nd down, and all the way down to the 12.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front of the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense, as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Lions who hold on to the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Ryan Tannehill's thrown a touchdown there. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Bears. And they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it? Or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? Meanwhile, for the Browns, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points too.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Montgomery. Safety Glenn Delpit up to make the play.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Still on his feet, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 65 yards on the ground for him so far.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 39-yard line. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And he's got room. And they move this all the way down to the 9. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Montgomery. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Bears have retaken the lead. Hard to argue with that being their best drive of the game so far as they use the running game to get them into the end zone.
Couldn't agree more, partner. Prior to that drive, they sputtered a little bit, but it looks like they found the formula. I would expect them to go back to that more and more as this game develops.
Now the point after try for Santos. And that makes it 14-10. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And again, it's Chubb. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
23 yards, the final tally. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Drops it off for Chubb. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw, Mayfield. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Eddie Goldman breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot. And they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone.
And that is dropped. Oh, my goodness. That could have been a game changer, but he could not hang on.
The Browns on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, Mayfield letting one go deep for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham there to make the grab. And the Browns have retaken the lead.
Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
He'll get this complete into the hands of Riley Ridley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner. We actually drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Off play action, Fields. And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
Escaping the pressure right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. A give. This is Montgomery. They find some open field here. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns 13.
140 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
Now Montgomery. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's into the end zone, touchdown Bears. David Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is caught on the sideline. On the feet in, they are. What a catch. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 83 yards. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He's looking for Ridley again. On 2nd and 10, Fields. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Now a run with Montgomery. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Andrew Billings in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Oh, look at the juke. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. They snap it to Fields. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He's back to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Back to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Darnell Mooney, the target there. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
With no timeouts left, that's a dangerous proposition working the middle of the field. Fortunately for them, that one fell incomplete.
On 2nd and goal, Fields. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Santos now to add the PAT. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. One last shot from Mayfield here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Bears, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3.